Hey, John.
Not too bad. How you doing?
Good, good. Are you ready?
As I will be.
Let's fucking do this, boy.
When did you first notice something was different about you? Can you describe the initial feeling?
About 5 years ago, and the initial feeling was just feeling alone and like if no one was feeling the way I felt.
When I started working full time and I just felt a bit sick and uncomfortable.
Just coming out of high school when I was going to university, there was a lot that just kind of seemed off. Yeah, I didn't feel like in the normal, I guess.
When I was 12, and it was like split second, 3:30 a.m. watching Forrest Gump, and I all of a sudden felt unsafe. And I felt like no matter what I did, there was a fear of minutes ticking by and what I was not in control of. And ever since I've been 12, that's something I've struggled with.
When I was about 13 and I was pulling at my hair, and I realized after some Googling and some, WebMD, which you shouldn't do, but I probably had trichotillomania, which was stemming from anxiety about my schoolwork and about my lack of friends at the time, actually.
Who was the first person you told? What was the reaction?
The first person I told about it would have been one of my friends, just try to vent and get it out there and at least verbalize what was going through my head.
I told my mom that I was like, well, you think I'm so wrong? Like, why don't you get me to see help? Because I don't think I'm okay. And my mom's like, you want me to send you there where they're gonna shove you with drugs and tell you that you can't work anywhere or that stuff?
My parents approached me before I even realized it. And then after that, I did reach out to a couple of my really close friends to tell them what was going on.
Do you regret telling him?
No, absolutely not.
My girlfriend at the time, very receptive.
Most likely my parents. They were super supportive. I'm very lucky to have extremely supportive family, friends.
When I figured out that I was having problems, I think I tried to tell my mom.
And I did not understand what was going on, so I just told her how I was feeling, that I was anxious, like that I was just scared. She just told me it was gonna be okay.
She just didn't understand it. It wasn't anything she had ever experienced before. My brother is high-functioning autistic, and I was always very, very normal. It wasn't anything that she was prepared to deal with and didn't delve any deeper. And my father was away for business at the time, so it wasn't exactly a priority. Later, I told somebody else that understood, and it was a lot more, it was explained a lot better.
React to the statement, mental health isn't real, it's just something millennials say for attention.
I wish that was true, but unfortunately, it's so real.
I mean, as a psychology major, I could just say no.
It's bullshit.
I like that answer. That's what I want.
I hate when people say that. I don't think that's true. I'm kind of part ways on that one. Mental health is definitely a thing. 100% is a thing. Do some people, I think, exaggerate it for social media and views and that kind of stuff? Yeah, I'd say sometimes it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, fake. But is it a thing? 100% is a thing, for sure.
I think it's a misunderstanding from a generation that wasn't diagnosed for their problems. The information is more available, and as I said, you can Google it, you can search it up, so there's more understanding and there's a lot more stories out there. So you realize that you're not the only person that's having these problems. So it's very easy to go, oh, that's what I'm suffering from, instead of just petering along and assuming that you're normal and just having a problem.
So do you think talking to somebody helps? And if so, do you talk to a counselor, or do you find yourself talking to more of your friends and family?
100%. Getting it out there and being able to vent it and talk through your problems and have a backboard and someone to listen is, I think, the most important thing.
Absolutely. I think talking is the best thing that you can do. I really talk to anyone who listens. I talk to my friends, my family, and a therapist.
I think talking to people can help if you have the right people, but if you don't have the correct help, then I think it can actually be a detriment.
I've talked to friends, family, and a counselor, but I think it's kind of different for everyone.
I do think it helps. I think holding it in is the worst thing you can do, and I know it's easier said than done to go and talk to someone, but I think it really helps.
Like
Yes.
and family and stuff?
Yes, 100%.
I think talking to somebody extremely helps. And I think that once you choose to get help, you are choosing to no longer suffer. If you reach out, you are choosing to face what you have to face and to move forward.
What are your thoughts on this statement? A multi-year study just concluded, and they determined the main cause of anxiety is overparenting. So it's like hearing the voice inside your head, but it's your mom and it's your dad or your caregiver.
Yeah.
So do you disagree or agree with this? And if you agree, who's the voice?
I agree and disagree. Can I be both? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's about overparenting because like literally anyone can have anxiety.
I don't really relate to having their voice in my head. It's almost me putting pressure on myself that kind of gives me this sort of feeling.
So it's your voice.
Yeah, mostly, but it's influenced by, parenting.
I don't think I agree with that statement. I don't think it applies to everybody. It might apply to a certain niche group or it might apply to a certain generational gap, but I don't think it's an overall statement.
There is a new trend of like the helicopter parenting now, not giving them the freedom to grow and learn on their own, which I think is affecting people's mental health. But I also disagree because like when I've thought about it in my own head, trying to process things, I don't think there's much of a voice in my head about what they think. At the end of the day, it's my life and my choices.
My parents got divorced when I was older, like in grade 12, so they were always constantly fighting, so I don't know if that caused me to have anxiety. Like I was never brought up in a calm environment where I always felt safe. But I don't necessarily hear my parents' voices in my head, it's more just like my own voice just judging me always, but I don't know if it's because of the way that my family happened.
Right.
If that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, if it helps you, somebody's already said that as well.
Yeah,
So,
that does help.
yeah.
I don't feel like I was overparented. I had super supportive parents. I don't feel like I was ever micromanaged or anything. A part of me wishes that my parents were tougher on me, so I would get a tougher skin and maybe would be able to deal with things better.
My anxiety comes from over workloaded, having a lot to do, having a lot on your plate, not knowing what to do, when to do it, that kind of stuff. Is it a lead from parents? In my situation, no. And do I agree with the survey? No, I don't think I agree with the survey.
I 1000% agree with that because you want to live up to your parents' expectations or whatever it may be. For me, it's my dad. As my therapist would call it, it's like a sub-personality. So you think it's yourself that believes that, but it's not. It's a personality that's been driven into your mind that then you realize later on once you are becoming your own person, wait, that is not my real belief and I have anxiety attached to this sub-personality. And to be able to detach from that and to create your own beliefs and find comfort in that, find safety in your own being is hard, but that is 100% true. I do 1000% feel anxiety attached to what my dad is breeded into my mind.
So then, last one. What's some advice that you would give to a younger person or somebody who's just less experienced in this, how to cope and deal with what they're going to?
Talk to people. If you're having problems and you think that nobody else is suffering from them, you will be extremely surprised by the amount of people that actually are.
Talk to someone, get out there, seek the help you need, and don't be afraid to do so.
It's important to be kind to other people. It's important to try and be the best version of yourself and try to make the world a better place and go out there and be that awesome you. But it is okay, it is completely fine to take a day, take some time for you.
Get help as soon as you feel like if something's going on that isn't normal. It's not worth waiting and having all those horrible days and that feeling and having to face it alone.
It's okay to be going through scary times, just know it's gonna be better at the end. I wish I knew that the first time.
I feel like the easiest thing you can say is it does get easier, and that's not necessarily what happens for everyone. But talking to someone, it does help. You can't keep it in, that's the worst thing that, I already said that, but it's the worst thing you can do because then you're just fighting a constant battle with yourself and yeah.
There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so much time in a day, so if you don't get it done, do it next day. Don't get worked up over what's on your plate and what you have to do, and open up to your friends, I think.
To grab your own hand, because sometimes you say reach out, but people are afraid to reach out because they don't have themselves in the beginning. So it's very hard to turn inwards in a place that's dark, but to know that you've still got you, and then from there, bring yourself to the safest person you know. You don't have to understand what's going on, but you know you're not okay, and that's enough. And from that first step, you trickle down the path where other people will come in and guide you. And you have to trust that the universe has put you in this situation to kind of help you grow. You're meant to be in that place, so just hold its hand rather than run.
Yeah, these are you can quote this. That was awesome.
Perfect. Awesome.
Well, hello, hi. I know that was a little bit different, but I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you related to anybody who was in this video and spoke about how they're feeling, make sure that you know you're not alone. And as you can tell, that the number one thing that was recommended was to reach out and get help, and that's the main reason why I'm doing this video. So you're not alone, and if you need any help, you can even go down there in the comments below, and we're all there. So thank you. So stay you, stay beautiful, and maybe we'll see you back for an episode 2. Thank you to everyone in the video as well. Okay, bye. And that's it.